Hey guys, Colin man. Okay, what we are doing today is we are talking about Tesla art. Tesla art is a sub-channel or a playlist, as YouTube refers to it, within this YouTube channel. So for the last year, we've been making a variety of different kinds of content, and one of those kinds of content is Tesla art. So what is Tesla art? There's my kind of Tesla art, and then there's other kinds of Tesla art. But by the way, there's not a whole lot of Tesla art. I mean, some people, I have actually, if you search YouTube for Tesla art, there's a few videos that would come up, not a whole lot, but you know, some people are painting their Tesla vehicles, stuff like that. But there's not much. Anyway, but there's no other Tesla art like my Tesla art. In fact, I can't find much art at all on YouTube that is like the kind of art I make. In fact, I'll go as far as to say I haven't personally been able to find any other art like the kind of art that I make. And so what is this art that I make? It is, it's very unique. It's done through time-lapse video production. And basically it involves placing a camera facing down upon a workstation, or so to speak, or an art station, whatever you want to call it. And it's filming everything that goes on. So if you're making some art, it would film the art in the process of being made. So that is a type of art I just don't see a whole lot of on YouTube, and certainly none at all involving Tesla. So, by the way, so how did I get started on this concept? This may sound funny, but I was walking along next to the river in Portland, Oregon. I was visiting my mom. I live in Denver, by the way. I was visiting my mom, and as I was walking along, there was a park bench there. Well, sorry, not a park bench, like a picnic bench, like an all-wood picnic bench. And sort of, I glanced over at it and saw a Tesla logo. And I was very into Tesla then, as I am now. And someone had used like a colored pencil or something like that, right directly onto the wood to make this piece of art. And it was really cool, just the rough wood and the logo drawn onto it. It was very well done. I was like, wow. That was before I had started this YouTube channel. So, but I've been thinking about starting a YouTube channel regarding Tesla. So it was already on my mind. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh, that's something I could do. I could do some Tesla art as part of the content that I bring forth if I want to make a channel that views the world through the lens of Tesla. So, and I actually did do that. So a while later, months later, I started the channel, and this was not the very first content I was putting out, but I had it in the back of my mind to do it, and I did do it. And I've been doing it pretty much for the whole life of the channel. So for the last year or so, the channel is a year old, and this video is taking a look back in time at what has happened in the last year. So this Tesla art that I've been creating has been going on, and you can check it out if you want to look at that sub channel. Take a look. It's a little hard to explain without really seeing it, But by the way, I will mention one more thing. In terms of how I got to this type of art, this sort of time-lapse photography, type of video art. So, a friend of mine was having his 50th birthday, and one of his daughters was helping coordinate some content for that, like a video that they were putting together, and I submitted something for that. This was way before I started this channel, and I used time-lapse photography, and it was tricky to do because I didn't have any equipment at all. So I was trying to hold this video camera up, looking down on the art area, and I had to use this very elaborate pile of boxes and things like that to try to do it, and I was able to do it, and it was an interesting experience, and I never sort of forgot that. So when it came time to make my Tesla art, I went back to that. I did get a nice piece of equipment that holds the phone up, and that way I can have it pointed down on the surface. The equipment I have is pretty basic and inexpensive. I bought it through Amazon. But that's how I do it. And then there's been, so it's actually, two-dimensional art, so to speak. So, marking up, I'll call it doodling, sort of doodling on paper, for the most part. But there's a lot more to it than that, because I also started involving, real objects. So, for example, like a baseball, that's just an example, but the baseball comes into play, and there's art on the baseball. So putting the art on the baseball. And then there's also a lot of adding and moving of objects, and removing objects and moving them around on the surface. So there's a lot of that sort of thing going on, and I try to create a sense of curiosity about where is this going. So during the video, the viewer would be trying to figure out, like, okay, what's going on here, and where's this going, and trying to hook them on the fun I'm trying to have. And it's not meant to be serious. There's a lot of humor to it, so to speak, and a lightheartedness. And I would call it performance art, because it's not just starting with nothing and moving to a completed piece of art. And I have seen a little bit of that done in time-lapse, but I've never seen a lot of the things that I do I've never seen before, where there's a lot of creation and recreation going on. And another thing that that goes on with this is there's music involved, and that to me is a big part of the experience. And there's also there's also two-dimensionality mixed with dimensionality. So there's some of that going on, and sort of, in other words, partly I'm saying, like, there's this workstation, art station, but then I start mixing in the real world, and I don't just mean putting a baseball down on the art, in the art zone, and moving it around and different things like that, but it also involves an art project getting started, rolling, and then taking that out into the real world, kind of. So I'll actually be doing the art, and then suddenly you'll see me take off into the real world. So you'll start seeing the world in front of you, and some of that is done through my bike. I've got an apparatus that holds the phone in such a way that I can film while I'm riding my bike. So yeah, so there's some of the videos are mixing the real world with this art station and having fun with it. It's all done, you know, like I said, kind of in a whimsical way. And sometimes it involves Tesla news or Tesla activism. So I don't know how much you guys know about Elon being robbed of his pay by a Delaware judge. And so some of the art involves creating some items that got mailed to the judge. So anyway, there's a purpose behind some of it, and like I said, sort of an activism to it. All right, so that's about all I can think to say about how Tesla art has played a role on this channel over the past year. And if you want to understand more, check out the sub channel. And if you do play the whole sub channel, it will just go one video after another, after another, after another. They're all shorts. So watching the entire playlist, which is many videos, doesn't take very long, because none of them are more than a minute. You can't have a short longer than a minute. So, you know, they average 30 seconds or something like that. So anyway, you can check it out if you want. And this is a type of content that I'm sure I'll be making plenty more of. It's just too fun not to. So if you like it, don't worry. There's more coming in 2025, and I would assume 2026, yada, yada. All right, bye for now. Ciao.